today we discuss about echocardiographic assessment of RV function. Basically, anything new I have covered. It is basically the RV assessment, basic, no strain imaging, no 3D imaging I have covered. Just some basics I have covered.
Ada YouTuber ada sedot sorry di pasar.
So, So, this is the anatomy of heart. Basically, the heart, the right ventricle, left ventricle, but in clinical echocardiographic assessment, when in terms of echocardiography, the less important to RV because of the structure and the parameter like crescent shape of structure of right ventricle. The right ventricle is situated behind the sternum. Basically, it is anterior and inferior basal portion of the heart. So, there are three structures like inlet, outlet, and trabecular. Inlet portion, this is a tricuspid one, and trabecular portion, the apical portion, and the outflow is known as infundibular. So, yes, the structure is tricuspid one, three leaflets. They are connected with the capillary muscle, with the right ventricle and the muscular trabeculated part, and then outflow structure connected to pulmonary lung. Okay. So, as per the this picture, the right ventricle is basically within the circular ring of muscle known as the crista supraventricularis or supraventricular crest. Forms an unobstructed opening into the outlet origin. It consists of parietal bed, septum, moderator bed. Basically, the outlet portion is moderator bed. When we assess the echocardiographic view in RV, we see the fat deposition. When we see the wall thickness of RV in subcostal view, the thickness basically trabeculated muscle and the fat portion. So we have to keep in mind. So basically, the physiological. Now we discuss about the physiological portion of contraction of RV. How the RV is contracted differs from the LV. Like RV, there consists, it is lack of middle transverse fiber like LV, but it only consists of one superficial oblique myocardial fiber and one deeper longitudinal arrangement. So it's pumping like from the beginning from the inlet, apical and to the outlet. It's not like LV, which is contracted by the apical and toward the outlet. RV contraction begins in the inflow region and progress toward the outflow tract, like the bellow when the fire and the machine, something like that, push the air. Type no bellow machine air push करे window. So the same thing, it's like bellow. In distinct, the LV contraction is squeezing like motion, likely to bring in the towel, like this manner, from the LV apex to outlet flow. So basically, the RV contraction and this is the LV contraction. So this is the segmental like part of RV. This is the right ventricle inlet portion. This is the parasternum long axis view, the pulmonary artery level. This is the subcostal. This is the subcostal level. Right ventricle RVOT level. This is the RV apical 5 chamber level. So this is the anterior and inferior portion. This is the anterior. This is the RVOT, and this is the lateral portion of RV. So all these are different window. So basically now discuss after anatomy and physiology, going to what are the limitations in echocardiography in the evaluation of RV function. So there are difficulty in establishing RV volume. Why? Because of there is a shape of RV. It's crescent in shape, separation between the inflow and outflow, and there is no any uniform parameter for the RV like geometric assumption. It is basically qualitative and quantitative. So qualitative we have to visual eyeball and the volume size, and quantitative there are different other method for assessment of RV. So difficulty in delineation and endopodic volume owing to wherever trabeculation. There are multiple trabeculation in RV. So difficulty in the inadequate image acquisition owing to the location just behind the sternum. So all these thing that put us difficult to estimating the RV. So basically the blood supply of RV is basically RV supplied by the right coronary artery, and only the moderator band and septal part is supplied by left coronary artery. And there are other thing, why should we measure function of RV? So basically RV is, we have in thought in mind that RV is only conduit of right atrium to the pulmonary blood flow. But RV is not just a conduit of blood flow, it has a unique function. When the pressure overload situation, when the preload, afterload, when the RV failure, it's a crucial role in the assessment of function of RV. So prognostic significant in clinical, various clinical setting, and risk stratification to guide the optimum therapy. Maintain adequate pulmonary pressure, pulmonary perfusion for the gas exchange. In the pulmonary embolism in ARDS, the RV is also the main perfusion. Also maintain low systolic venous pressure to prevent congestive tissue or organ, because many RV failure, there is congestive coronary backward failure, right side failure. So affect also LV function, limit the LV preload in RV dysfunction. Ventricular interdependence. Interdependence means the volume over in RV and the septal bulge toward the LV, the output of LV is also reduced. So prognostic significant various clinical settings. These are the 2D and M mode area of RV in fractional area of contraction in 4 chamber. So basically in subcostal view, here the thickness of RV and lateral. This is the subcostal view, and normally 0.5 centimeter, 5 mm thickness of the RV. If more than 0.5 mm, this significant RV hypertrophy, or there is a right ventricle hypertrophy. So this is in this the trabeculation and fat pad we have to keep in mind, not to consider in during the assessment. So normal less than 0.5, measure at the level of coda at the peak of RV, and EC is on subcostal, well correlate with the peak RV systolic pressure. So RV dimension above the tricuspid valve annulus, basically when we have to keep the dimension, so the 3 level, at the level of tricuspid annulus, basal level, at the mid level, and to the annulus to the apical level, distance from the TV annulus to the apex. So these are the RV D1, these are the right ventricular D2 level, and these are the assessment RV function. So these are the reference range: mild, moderate, and severe, where the abnormality is considered. Basal level is 2.8, mid 2.7 to 3.3, and RVD is 7.1 to 7.3. So in assessment of RV, there is because of the not uniform of the criteria to acquire the, like some probe may be delineated this way, and this cover the LV, mitral valve, septum, and tricuspid valve. But if we going through linear this way, tricuspid valve is not aligned in this way. So there is no uniformly parameter, so it is difficult to assess.
Previously,
This is the 4 chamber view of
so mid RV diameter is more than basal RV diameter.
Yes, this is baseline RV diameter 1. This is 2. and
How
3.
can be mid RV diameter be more than basal RV diameter?
Because the shape of RV is triangular and crescent shape. So
Ronak, बराबर से?
It can be because septum works in the part of LV. So whenever LV contracts, the septum will move towards LV side. So it can be higher than this basal diameter.
No, please recheck this.
Yes.
So in the 4 chamber window, the basically main portion of LV is the apical level. So only RV the estimation the mid cavity size, we can only consider this. So this is RVOT level, RVOT 1, RVOT 2, and the pulmonary artery level. So RVOT and pulmonary artery level size. This all the parameter showing above the aortic valve, above the pulmonary valve, pulmonary artery diameter, and below the pulmonary valve. So RV size assessment. Normal RV approximately 2/3 of the size of LV in mass. Basically, RV is very less to LV in the sense of volume and in the thickness. RV dilation appears similar to larger than LV size, shares the apex. So RVS normally the rounded shape of LV maintained throughout the cardiac cycle, and RVSP shifted RVS towards the this basically want to say when the RV volume overload or RV distance increases, the interventricular septum consumes toward the LVS and LV cavity. In the pressure overload, persistence of septal deterioration throughout the cardiac cycle, more marked during the systolic and volume overload. Septal flattening mainly during the diastole. So these are the showing the parasternal short axis view. Volume overload in RV is going to changes in the septum. These are volume overload. These are the pressure overload. So when any massive pulmonary embolism, massive volume overload, septum from bulge it is like D-shaped septum. These are the mid systole, these are end diastole in this pressure overload. So basically today's topic, right ventricular function assessment, basically qualitative and quantitative. So here are the 5 methods we used in the calculation of right ventricular function. Upset, fractional area, fraction, pay index, expand tissue Doppler by tricuspid valve annulus, and visual estimation of free mode of RV by motion of tricuspid valve. So fractional area changes. So basically the in parasternal long axis, parasternal short axis, and 4 chamber view and subcostal view. Basically 4 chamber view, the RV in we have to measure the from the papillary from the tricuspid annulus level to the apex and again to the lateral, medial and lateral. The size into the diastolic part. So end diastolic area and minus the end systolic area divided by end diastolic area multiplied by 100. It gives the fractional area changes into the right ventricle. So fractional area changes, the percentage of RV fractional area change defined in the end diastolic and end systolic divided by end diastolic into 100. So on the correlate, which is basically perfectly given by MRI of because there are some underestimation of the RV function in this method. So they want to say that MRI is more accurate to RV ejection fraction. So RV fractional area contraction was found to be independent predictor of the heart failure, death, stroke, and mortality in stratification. This study shown that it is an independent risk factor. Lower preference value normal RV fraction area 35. So 35 if less than 35%, it's significant. There are less RV fractional area. Next is tricuspid annular plane systolic excursion. So degree of systolic excursion at tricuspid valve lateral annulus in apical 4 chamber level. In apical 4 chamber level, you have to put cursor in the tricuspid annulus level, lateral part, and see the graph. This is the 1.7. It's normal. Less than 1.7, it's normal. So well correlate with the RVEF measured by RV strain and reproducible method, a strong predictor patient with heart failure. It is correlated with the heart failure patient correlation.
The RV is not RV strain, it is ventricular.
Right ventricle. So basically the tricuspid annulus lateral level, we have to put M mode, and this is the Kapsa method. So from the bottom to the top, we have to measure the 1.7 or less than 1.7, then it's difficult to do this function.
So roughly, if you have to comment on RVEF on this, how much will be RVEF from taps? Not true one, but roughly.
Basically, if two TAPS value is 2, then it is 50%. If it is 1.5 to 2, it's decreasing the EF.
Roughly, it is you multiply by 3, like 1.9 centimeter is 19 millimeter. 19 multiplied by 3, that is your RVEF. Roughly. It is exactly 2.7, you have to multiply by 2.7. But roughly, you can multiply by 3 and that you can say it is RVEF.
So basically, this way, 1.7 is 45%. If 2 centimeter is 50%.
Yes, so that is exactly 2.7 you have to multiply, but roughly you can say 3.
So, as per the TAPSC and RV injection fraction volume by this Thomson method. And next is Doppler image, tissue Doppler image. Again, the apical 4-chamber view we have to use for tissue Doppler image. So, the Doppler sample volume we have to place in the tricuspid annulus level at the baseline or middle baseline tricuspid level segment of RV3. The systolic peak level of the S drive velocity used, we have to use the highest peak systolic velocity to by the Doppler, tissue Doppler imaging. So in this there is a around 10, above the 10, less than 10 is abnormal. So the value should be at least more than 10 in tissue Doppler imaging. Less than it is a dysfunction. So what is the advantages of tissue Doppler and what is the disadvantages? So in routine practice, we doing the RV tissue Doppler. This is a symbol. It's available in all modern system. A reproducible technique with good discrimination and ability to detect normal versus abnormal RV function, and maybe obtain and analyze offline. So what is the disadvantage? Less reproducible for non-basal segment. It is angle dependent. Like tachycardia or something, like we have to not correctly put angle, so it is not accurately measured. Limited normal data in all ranges in both sexes. It assumes that the function of a single segment returns the function of the entire right ventricle. Basically, it gives the segmental portion of the RV, not the entire RV. What is the right ventricular tail index? Basically, give the right ventricular
MPI, it's myocardial.
perfusion index. So this is the ratio between the isovolumetric time and ejection time. In this Doppler imaging, these are the tricuspid flow, these are the ejection time, and these are the isovolumetric contraction time, isovolumetric relaxation time, and this is the ejection time. Basically, isovolumetric contraction time plus relaxation time divided by ejection time gives the right ventricle globally myocardial perfusion index. So assess the global function of the right ventricle. So ratio between the isovolumetric time and ejection time. It is a performance of myocardial in the RV. Global index of both systolic diastolic function in the right ventricle. Normally it is 0.45 So this is the ISO. This is the annulus level tissue Doppler. This is the interval IVCT, contraction time, relaxation time, and this is the ejection time. This is ejection time. So, as per the formula, we calculate for this.
This ejection time is taken in, this is wrong because possibly. Ejection time is taken at RVOT. This doesn't seem to be RVOT until it is been monitored.
It is taken at tricuspid annulus level. No?
Yes, sir. RVOT level.
Ejection time is taken at RVOT. So you go to parasternal short axis, open aorta, find out pulmonary artery, and then put pulse flow Doppler there. There you will get ejection time.
Is everything you have taken in tissue Doppler?
Yes,
Everything is to be taken in tissue Doppler for myocardial perfusion?
The ejection time can't be taken in tissue Doppler.
How you can
It
take it?
is pulse flow Doppler at RVO. IDRT, IVCT, I agree. It can be taken in anything. It can be taken in pulse flow also. It can be taken in tissue also.
mean pulmonary artery, so it is
Go
taken
back
by
to the previous.
RVOT.
Go back to the question. So this this is tricuspid inflow pulse flow Doppler. So that is again pulse flow Doppler. It is not tissue Doppler. And tricuspid inflow pulse flow Doppler can be taken in either 4-chamber or it can be taken in 2-chamber modified, where you open your tricuspid valve. That is a tricuspid PW. And RVOT pulse flow Doppler is either pulmonary valve PW or CW, whatever you say. But anything, it has to be pulse flow Doppler or continuous flow Doppler. It is not tissue Doppler. So whatever you are showing, that is another way to check this Tay index.
Then
IVCT, IVRT you can take on this. ET you have to take on pulse flow.
At the RVOT level, pulse flow Doppler continued, we have to do RVOT for the.
Maybe there is some mistake with this in images.
Okay, I will. Actually, I understand.
આપણે પાછું ready કરો ને એટલે next Wednesday જે બી હોય પાછું કહેજો.
So maybe that is some newer math.
When we go through the pulmonary, mean pulmonary artery pressure, is with the right ventricular outflow rate, RVOT. So, marker perfusion index is at this formula. If the heart rate is more than 100, we have to at 75 by heart rate. This is the index for. So what are the advantages for RVMP? This approach is feasible in large number of subjects. The MP is reproducible. It has geometric assumption and limitation of the complex RV geometry. The pulse tissue Doppler imaging method allows measurement of MP as well as prime EDS, AS in all single images. What are the disadvantages? Marker perfusion imaging is unreliable when the right ventricle ejection time and ER time are measured by defining RR interval, as in like we have to see that the RR interval is regular in microperfusion. If the irregular RR interval or like atrial fibrillation or something like that, so we cannot calculate as per the this because RR interval is uniform in pressure. It is load dependent and unreliable when the right atrial pressure is elevated. What is the RV diastolic function? So, by the 4-chamber view, the Doppler beam should be aligned parallel to right ventricular inflow. Sample volume we have to place at the tips of the tricuspid valve leaflet. So, measure at the head of end expiratory and take the average of more than 5 consecutive. Because single reading is not accurate, so we have to more than 5 consecutive reading. Measurement are essentially the same as those used for the left side. Basically, the inlet part of the tricuspid valve at the leaflet level. So that will function. The same way we are doing the pulse Doppler in mitral valve level and the assessment of the diastolic dysfunction. The same way RV diastolic function. So these are the value RV diastolic function. E by centimeter per second, E by ratio, deceleration time, IVRT, E prime, A prime, E by this ratio, and E by. This is lower end and this is the upper end. We are not going through this already. So what are the recommendation? Measurement of RV diastolic function should be considered patient with suspected RV impairment as a marker of early like RV dysfunction. Patient non-RV dysfunction is a marker of poor prognosis. Like the RV dysfunction, RVO MI, massive embolism, RV failure. So we can prognose patient as per the diastolic dysfunction of RV. So tricuspid E by ratio, E by prime ratio and RSI have been most validated for measure. So the grading of RV diastolic dysfunction should be done as before. Like E by A ratio less than 0.8 impaired relaxation. The same way the E by A ratio in the LV at the mitral level. The same way if less than 0.8 in RV suggested relaxation of right ventricle. E by A ratio is 0.8 to less than 2 with an E by prime ratio more than 6 diastolic prominent with in the hepatic vein suggests pseudo-normal feeling. This is the 0.8 to less than 2 and if it is more than 2 that's restrictive type of feeling but the distillation time is less than 1 minute. Same way we will right atrial assessment. Left as we measure the right ventricle we have to go through the also right atrial pressure because in clinical pressure. We have to right ventricular pressure plus we have to keep the right atrial pressure as per the IVC of the patient. So what are how to measure the right atrial assessment? In the apical 4-chamber view, estimation of the right atrial by the planimeter method from the annulus portion to the apex and then again to the medial annulus. The maximum distance from the right atrial is from the center of the tricuspid annulus to the superior right atrial wall parallel to the interarterial septum. Mid RF minor divergence is defined as the mid level of the RF free wall in the interarterial septum perpendicular long axis. Right atrial area is traced at the end of ventricular systole excluding from the IVC, SVC and the right atrial appendage. So normally it is less than 80 normal area. So how the RF pressure determination measurement of RVC obtained by the
Less than no, 80.
22 is normal in this.
Centimeter square is more important, right? Less.
Yes.
It has to be indexed with the body surface area.
As per the
Absolute value will be indexed only.
so we have to calculate the IVC at the end expiratory. The hepatic outflow at the level of 3 centimeter from the inlet. This distance should be 3 centimeter and the hepatic flow
3 centimeter तो दोस्त abdominal aorta ना थी like 1 के 1.5 centimeter यूज कर लो तो मतलब आलो कौन जाता है 1 centimeter चला because then it will reflect your intra-abdominal pressure related IVC diameter changes. If you want to see thoracic pressure, then you need to do little closer to your RA opening. 1 centimeter जो कहीं से जरा check करो के पास
2 or 3 reference है
2 or 3 shape का ही रूप में वाची
reference is study.
ना फिजियन बॉम में जो ना फिजियन बॉम में सो लगे जो ही
I
लगे
will check.
कदाच 1 centimeter से
So measurement of IVC should be obtained with the end expiratory and just proximal to the junction of the hepatic vein that lie approximately 0.5 to 3 centimeter proximal to the ostium of the right atrium. So to accurately assessment of the IVC collapse, the changes in diameter of IVC with the sniff and also in the quiet respiration should be measured, ensuring that the changes in diameter does not reflect the translation of
તમે
the
જે
IVC.
ઇમેજ બતાવી છે એમાં hepatic vein ક્લિયર થાય છે પ્રોબેબલ પેલી ઉપર થોડી હશે બટ વી ડોન્ટ નો કારણ કે આખી તે નથી લીધી રાઈટ એટલે this is little distal then suggested
બેક સાઈડ પર છે ને તે IVC
ના ના એ નહીં સર ઉપરવાળી આવે ને એ કદાચ નીચે જોઈન્ટ કરી દીધી પણ એને આખું પિક્ચર એ રીતે નથી
એ
લીધું
છે
So how the estimation of right atrial pressure from the IVC diameter. So we have to check the diameter of the IVC. Normal IVC collapsibility more than 50%. So right atrial pressure is the 5 millimeter of mercury. In normal IVC less than 50% collapsibility, then it is a 10 millimeter mercury. If dilated IVC more than 21 mm and collapsibility is more than 50%, then 50 millimeter of mercury the pressure. And dilated and non-collapsing less than 50%, then 20 millimeter of Hg. So basically the IVC size normally 70 mm, 20, 21 mm in the borderline range. Body surface area, you do calculate according to that. So right ventricular pathology, there are different pathologies like right ventricular volume overload, pressure overload, infarction, RVD, embolism, pulmonary embolism, and cardiac tamponade. So these all things need to be through the right atrial pressure, IVC, right ventricular pressure, tissue Doppler, myocardial perfusion, systolic, diastolic dysfunction of right ventricular, and the size, volume assessment by visual, eyeball, and by the difference. What are the hemodynamic assessment? Systolic pulmonary artery pressure, estimation of tricuspid regurgitation, jet velocity using the simplified Bernoulli equation, provided there is no RVO obstruction. We have to check that there is no pulmonary stenosis or no pulmonary level obstruction or no RVO site obstruction. So simply the jet of TR in millimeter in centimeter square, we have to calculate as per the formula 4V square. So right ventricular systolic pressure 4 by velocity at the TR jet level plus the pressure into the right atrium as per the IVC. Then normal peak 26 assuming the RF pressure is to the normal 3 to 5 mm. Measure diameter velocity from the various you will get the highest velocity. This is the TRB max, maximum pressure gradient. TRB max is 2.8 centimeter per second. So the S curve 2.8 square into multiplied by 4 plus RF pressure. So it suggests the right ventricular systolic pressure equal to pulmonary artery systolic pressure. So hemodynamic assessment, pulmonary artery diastolic pressure is
The thing is that see what is the sensitivity or specificity of this measurement compared to catheterization.
catheterization is invasive and is more accurate.
When compared to catheterization, what is the when we read the report, see sometimes 2-3 echocardiographic report patient comes in. One suggests 25 millimeter of mercury RV pressure, another will say 35, third will say 50. So the different echocardiographer mention different RV pressure.
But we have to properly open the RV.
Whenever we are in doubt, invasive is always better, but that is equal only in one case, to rule out accident.
In
In ESP or VSP case, when you are talking about operability,
yes.
to rule out Eisenmenger syndrome, that is only indication for invasive. Otherwise, this keeps on changing, like interoperator variability is always there. Then even some patient must have been given diuretic, that will also suddenly change. And sometimes many operators will do in lateral position, so that position will also change the pressures. Ideally, it has to be done in supine.
See, when we come to see patient comes to us, we see the report. Most of the time is the whether patient is in primary pulmonary hypertension or secondary pulmonary hypertension. The third situation, as a physician, we see whether patient is in acute pulmonary embolism or not.
Right.
The acute pulmonary embolism where you don't expect RV to dilate that fast.
Yes.
So what we should look for during acute pulmonary embolism?
Acute pulmonary embolism, only pulmonary artery, whether there is presence of embolism or not.
Presence
Another
of-
sign is that corneal
Second,
cells
what did you say?
presence of thrombus in pulmonary
That
artery.
is you do CT angiography like that, but see in ICU
No,
setup.
even on echo. Even on echo. Echo will also show us presence of thrombus in pulmonary artery. We can
Many
see
a time you get on echo.
Yes.
Many a time you get on echo as well. અને પેશન્ટ પાસે જૂના echo હોય ને એમાં RR little bit dilated ના હોય, TR ના હોય અને આ echo માં આવવા માંડ્યા હોય. So you can is a corroborative finding.
Second thing is corneal sign, movement of RV free wall. It reduces if it is acute pulmonary embolism. So that if echocardiographer has seen that, echocardiographer is knowing that we are talking about pulmonary embolism, he will look for it specifically.
Specific લખશે એમાં રિપોર્ટમાં કહેશે.
Free wall
Corneal sign, it is called corneal sign. Free wall movement will be less. Because of
Hypokinesis of free wall. અને સાહેબ પેલું જે તમે કીધું કે ત્રણ રિપોર્ટમાં એકમાં 30 હોય એકમાં 50 હોય તો ટ્રાય ટુ બિલીવ 50 કારણ કે જેને મેક્સિમમ ચેક કર્યું હશે ને એને વધારે ટ્રાય કરીને અલગ અલગ એંગલથી જોયું હશે.
Second problem why it changes because many operator prefers to add 10 to the this pressure.
RVSC.
Whatever RV systolic pressure will come, they will add 10 to that without looking at IVC. So then it will change. Because if IVC is not dilated, then you add maybe 3 or 5. IVC dilated 10. IVC are both dilated 15.
So how see the case of chronic pulmonary hypertension, you are treating with maybe bosentan or sildenafil. How do you follow those patients? By echocardiography
Echo.
or by biomarker?
No, by echo. PPH by echo only. Only biomarker is required only in case of acute pulmonary embolism to look for prognosis. Troponin to be specific. Not even pro-BNP. Only troponin.
But then we have to tell the echocardiographer you look specifically for RV pressure. Then he will look in other position or like that.
Yes. And if you want one step ahead, then tell them.
Otherwise, તમે જે કહો છો એ third position ની અંદર
Or else tell them give RVSP separate and what is pulmonary artery pressure separately. So they can give pulmonary artery pressure as 25 plus 10. So you know that he has considered 10 because IVC was dilated.
So you also try to check the comment on IVC. કેટલું પેરામીટર લખ્યું છે
Yes.
IBC માં. એટલે તમને બી અંદાજો આવે.
Yes.
Do you check RBSP on supine or lateral?
IBC on supine.
RBS pulmonary hypertension કેમાં છે?
Both. It is either in 4-chamber view or second but best is subcostal view, that is in supine position. Wherever you get jack, proper jack.
Yeah, but I guess that focused RB view in apical area is the best possible way to detect the RBS,
Yes.
right?
In sometimes in case of pulmonary, this COPD.
Yeah,
You can only
COPD
subcostal.
ખાલી subcostal માં દેખાય.
Otherwise, when you are talking about primary PH or pulmonary embolism, 4-chamber view is better. Slightly you tilt your probe, you will open up the area.
Yes.
From echocardiogram assessment we cannot comment. Pardon sir. Echo પરથી ખબર acute છે કે chronic છે pulmonary hypertension, whether it is left side failure or primary or hypertension.
Hypertension is not acute. Pulmonary hypertension is chronic. The only pulmonary embolism acute or PH secondary to chronic pulmonary embolism.
We cannot comment with acute or chronic.
pulmonary hypertension માં acute કે chronic નથી ને એવું કશું?
It is pulmonary hypertension. It's not acute or chronic.
So pulmonary artery diastolic pressure estimated from the velocity of the end diastolic pulmonary regurgitation rate using the this is the short axis view at the artery level, the pulmonary one level. We have to give the pulmonary regurgitation rate is like the here by using diastolic pulmonary artery diastolic pressure 4 V square plus RA pressure. Mean pulmonary pressure as per the peripheral arterial pressure we go through systolic diastolic mean pressure. Same way mean arterial mean pressure is 1/3 of systolic pulmonary artery pressure plus 2/3 of pulmonary artery diastolic pressure. So this value as per the velocity early pulmonary regurgitation plus the RA pressure we have to add. So this give the idea of mean pressure. So what is the exception? If the transducer is not parallel to the flow of the jet of PIA, peak velocity of the jet will be reduced and underestimation of the RB systolic pressure. Incorrect estimation, mean right atrial pressure from the IPC can lead to underestimate, overestimation of the pulmonary pressure. These are subject to variation. If we do not correctly measure the jet or alignment, this gives the underestimation, overestimation. So what are the summary of
Also, we cannot have PRJ in every patient. So that diastolic and average, you cannot always say. PRJ હોય છે બધાની?
Yes.
PRJ હોય છે બધામાં? Pulmonary regurgitation? બધામાં નથી હોતું, right?
Trace
You
PR
cannot-
maybe sometime we notice. So visual assessment provide the qualitative evaluation of visual eyeball, the volume of the RV and contractility. But basically we are in routine practice doing the qualitative assessment. Quantitative assessment like fractional area, voyage, TAPSE, pulse, tissue Doppler, tail index, microperfusion, index, reproducible method, all this routinely we are not doing, but this gives the exact idea about the RV function globally or longitudinally, systolic diastolic. Combining more than one measure can reliably distinguish normal from abnormal. Strain and 2D, specular tracing and